So, that's what I kind of did. As soon as I clicked the loadout, and then went over there, and then I found it. Well, and then, and the truth be known, or that's kind of it. I was looking, and then I knew it was in that area. Would say because I kind of seen it, but I think, or I didn't catch up, or I don't. It kind of ran off. And I was like, mother fudger. So I finally recalled it back down because I got spooked it because I got walked up over a little hill there in Logger and spooked it.
Was it on Loggers? I forgot. Was it on Loggers?
Yeah, Loggers on South End, but.
But
that is technically my second biggest right now. But
don't you have like you have a really good setup if I remember on Loggers, right? Like an extremely good setup. Yeah. We need to hunt that one time. Yeah. Let me make the video. I'd love to hunt that. Love to hunt that stand.
Let's see here.
Tonight I'm gonna install something for my Blue Yeti to mic because it sounds really sensitive right now, huh?
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to adjust that. Like you can hear, like I have a bird, like a bird my grandma does, right? And you can hear that thing from across the house through my mic. So I always have to close my door. Sometimes I just threaten to shoot that thing. You wake up in the morning to that thing screeching. Yeah, I killed my 237 on Loggers Point in somebody's server. Just got in. And you know where the Golden Tree Stand is? Or not the Golden Tree Stand, but the
yeah.
On Loggers, the Golden Tree Stand? I guess I think they call it the Loggers version of Golden Tree Stand. It's kind of near the bridge.
Actually, no, I'm not. Well, I mean, there's always, places like that.
Yeah.
There's always locked.
You know where like the river crosses and there's a bridge?
Mm-hmm.
You know that opening? Like if you were like walk down, there's an opening. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, and I got into this dude's server, and I got the stand, and I look behind me, and there's like 8 or 9 mule deer bucks. This whole bunch of mule deer coming in, right? And I was like, okay, they're all small. Then I look back, and there's 2 giants. So I shoot them both, and I got the other one on the run. One scored 214, and the other one scored 237 or 238.
Nice.
But the thing is that 214 looked bigger than the 238. I don't know why. It's weird. Yep, right now my loadout's the drilling combination and the recurve and the 454. Ooh, buck runner already. Hell yeah. Hopefully you don't mind me saying hell yeah.
Which, yeah, I'm kind of curious. So, actually, on that, well, our sponsors. But...
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, because at this point I don't know what's going on. Dog, I said lay down.
No.
I'll shoot you. Anyways.
You can't try. Not being mean. I was just saying that you could.
Yeah, I know. I would. It would be dead like 30 times by now, honestly. Another thing I need to work on is my personal best whitetail. It's only 289. I like to get a tad bit bigger than that. Or 189, not 289.
That's still a really nice whitetail.
Yeah, that's a nice whitetail.
It took me forever to finally get one in the one.
Oh yeah.
And it was funny when I finally got one, and it was 191 inch.
Yeah.
When I finally got, well, I broke 2 records that day while I was on Red Feathers, and well, I killed, finally come across this 181 or 4-inch or whitetail typical,
Mhm.
and I was so happy. My biggest whitetail.
Mhm.
An hour later, while I'm walking around, I was completely on the other end, down on the white, more on the white end,
Mhm.
white, tail area, and all of a sudden there was another one. I hear big old buck calls, so I called it in. It was monster big.
Oh yeah.
It went 191, so I literally broke
Listen to this.
two.
My buddy Trophy 5, and he's making a video. This is a while back, and his quality wasn't good, but we still cheered him on and everything. I mean, he didn't have a very good computer, and he actually did a donation. I did a really good donation to try to help him get a little bit better computer, like a $20 donation. And anyways, that day, right, he was making a video, and he sees his whitetail. He thinks like a 150s, 160s buck, right? So he shoots this thing, makes a really bad shot on it. Like I think he hit it like hardly missed the liver or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets up to it, he picks it up, and it scored 201. And his reaction was the best reaction ever. It was like oh, 201. We were just like, what? Nah, dude, I don't think so, right? We were all like,
I just caught a sturgeon. I just come back over on this
nice.
the other side, and so
But yeah, we
Russian
didn't believe him.
sturgeon 7K.
But sure enough, it was a 201, and
Yeah.
I was amazed. I was like, wow. This buck sure is taking a while to come in, so I hope he's big. Be nice to start off with a nice muley.
Yeah, that's my second favorite thing.
What's your first favorite thing to hunt? Mine will always
It's
be whitetail.
whitetail.
Mine too. Whitetail, mule deer,
Huh.
and my third will be moose.
Yes and no. Moose are kind of more down there, but I kind of then predator like yo's and bobcats, that kind of thing, because
I've
that's what I hunt
honestly,
in real life. I've called in tons of coyotes and bobcats over the years.
oh, I bet.
But
The only
so
thing that I've killed
it
that are
just-
predator.
That's why. Well, that was the first thing. That's what I grew up on. We used to run them with dogs.
Oh yeah, I bet
Here
that's
where I
fun.
live, and when I was a kid, and Dad, that's what we just. That's I guess that's
My,
why. And then whitetail. I was actually born on opening morning of rifle season
Oh, that's so
here
cool.
in 1976, November 13th, 1976.
Nice. Well, anyways, I have two stories to tell you. My first ever coyote. We were going down the railroad tracks. We were deer hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we get on these railroad tracks. We look down. There's a nice old yote sitting there looking at me, right? And at the time, I had my dad's 308, right? I was like, okay, I absolutely roll this thing. So I shot it right behind the shoulder, dude, and it dropped, and it was still alive, kicking and trying to get back up, right? And so we had to go and we waited like 2 or 3 minutes for it to die, right? And we had to go hit it in the head with a shovel before it died. No joke, it did not want to die. Right?
Yeah, because, that's the reason I'm laughing, because we used to run them with dogs, and we used to run like double-up buck,
Yeah.
and we'd had this, it was technically a 3.5-inch load, but we found a way to make it, because the shotguns we was using back then could only handle, the biggest load was a 3-inch for it on that 12 gauge. So it was a 3.5-inch load. We pushed it down and made it to where it was safe, but there was a way you could buy these wads and everything that weren't very long, so
Yep.
you could put that load. So yeah, that poor gun got a beating. Finally, after years and years of getting that really heavy load, because it was technically we were shooting a 3.5-inch load through a 3-inch gun.
Yeah.
It was max 3-inch. Yeah, it took a heck of a beating, but I've seen two different people. I mean, you just unload that freaking 4 buck on them, and they still run off. But I've seen them. I've seen person 200 yards or 100 yards out there, and they shoot it with a freaking 22 mag, and it pulls. But most of the time, they're really coyotes are super hardy. They're just
listen to this.
so hard to kill.
So where I live in Oregon, by the way. I live on the West Coast. We have blacktail.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, my dad had
We
the
just
same
have
exact
white
throw weight, by the way. And and this is a really good gun. We call it the neck buster for elk and stuff, cause I mean it absolutely rules them. And so my dad's up on this hill, right? And he sees this
another sturgeon.
Nice.
A little starlet, but wasn't a marker. So.
And we see this nice. I think it was like for you guys, you can't count the antlers. For us to be a 5x4, really nice buck. And all my dad can see is its head, right? So he shoots the thing right between the eyes, right? And it runs down the hill. He stops and he shoots it 4 more times in the face. No joke. And it rolls down the hill and tries to get it back up. Corkscrews itself to a culvert completely. So we're getting down there. We get it in the back of the truck, right? We're like, how did this thing take 5 shots to the head? It's still running 30 yards, right? We get in the back of the truck, and that thing stood up in the back of the truck when we're going home. But it cut his throat again. No joke. No clue what was wrong with that buck, but we were just kind of like wary to eat it and everything. Because we were like, what the hell?
Yeah, we used to run them with red tick, or what we do. There was a group of us, and we all had CVs and trucks and that kind of stuff. But we drive around, and we had permission, and. Of almost all the farmers on north, I mean literally probably a 20-mile square area on north of where we live, and then same on the south. I mean, we had tons of land where we could legally run those dogs on. So if what we do, everybody right at daylight, 6 in the morning, we'd leave, everybody would head out at daylight and start driving around. And the first person to find a coyote, see a coyote, then they'd get on the radio and hey, seen the coyote, and then we had a set of dogs. Well, my dad and my cousin. Well, we had an actual red tick, and it was crossed with a greyhound. So it had the body and looks of a greyhound and speed of a greyhound, but it was a red tick.
Oh yeah.
So it had the nose and all that. That motherfucker, when he get out there and could actually see, I wish we would have videotaped it back then, but I mean we didn't, thinking not like now.
Yeah,
but
not like
you
just
videotape
nowadays.
everything. But yeah, whenever it would actually get out and could see the coyote, they would instantly, once it seen it, it could close the distance on it.
Oh yeah.
In no time. I mean, it was just, and boom, that freaking coyote could not outrun that freaking dog. It just, that freaking greyhound, because it was so fast because of the greyhound in it, and it would tackle it. So it was just, the fight was on until, and he was always the first one there. But yeah. So.
You know what, me and my dad we used to went up to Eastern Oregon. I'll let you finish, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Well, we used to go up to Eastern Oregon, which is the deserty part, right? There's rabbits everywhere. Well, we used to have old 22, the semi-autos. It's like an old 22R. We used to go, this is illegal, but it was so much fun to do. My dad would be driving down and we'd see a rabbit. By the way, we picked him all up. And we just shoot him out of the car on the driving like 15 miles per hour. Just ta, 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 ta. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was fun. I've always wanted to do it again, but it was kind of like meh to do because if you don't want to get caught. But it was fun. I mean, probably killed 30 rabbits that day. We ate them too.
Nice.
Stringy. They're really stringy. Yep, I got a new bow a couple weeks ago too.
Nice.
Do you bow hunt?
Yeah.
I got a.
Used to, but this year I had to kind of quit. So.
Yeah, I have a Diamond Edge SB1.
Nice.
That's what I have. I got my first elk this year.
Nice.
Yep, I was hardly legal for him because in Oregon you have to at least be pulling back 50. So I hardly made it, but I did it. Had to like twist my neck and everything to get it back, but got used to it after a while. 40.
Yeah, I used to buy brand new best bows money could buy every year, and then sell it, and then buy. Well, I'd keep like the sights, and because I had the best sights. I mean, I would have over $2,000 in that bow.
Mhm.
So I used to bow hunt hardcore.
Yeah, but
I used to even go to tournaments and that kind of stuff.
I killed that thing at
shoot tournaments.
Yep, I shot that thing at 42 yards, lung and livered him. Only got one lung though, but that's the furthest shot I'll ever take on an animal again. Cause I almost hit high, but I was lucky because I hit a branch. And you may not say that's lucky, but I hit a branch and it like hit my arrow down, like it jerked it down real quick, and it like almost hit the dirt. But I hardly caught a liver and lung. I was so worried.
Yeah, a couple years ago when I was still working, because I can't work now. That's why I do this, keep myself entertained. But because that rare disease I have, I can't.
What do you have? I forgot what you had.
Anyways, well, basically, long story short, yeah, back a few years back, when I was still working, there was a year I was actually, because I went out, because where I worked, because I told them I wanted to go opening morning, bow season. I wanted to go that morning, and I'd be at work, later, so kind of thing. But I was going to make up the hours because you could come in and work whenever. I could come in early or stay late.
Yeah.
And make up my hours because I was in shipping. So so anyways, I went out. I was actually the only person to kill one opening day. It was just a doe, but yeah, I was the very first person to ever in Missouri to kill that year to kill a deer with their bow.
Nice.
So I was the very first one. So because we checked in, they actually looked, and yeah, I was actually the first person. No one else killed one, so until like the next day, then somebody killed one. So I was but it was just a doe, but I was still.
Hey, I'd be hype about that,
But it was so hot that day. I love deer meat. I have big old high dollar Cabela's or meat grinders, tenderizer kind of things. Well, it was so freaking hot, so I didn't want to hang, that deer because I figured it would go bad because I like hanging them at least a day or two to that kind. I skin them, hang them. Well, so I ended up donating it. Just took it to the meat locker. Well, they have a program, so or share the harvest kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it gives it to the food bank, but so it was just too hot. If I had a fancy and had a walk-in cooler, then I'd have kept it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. It was going to go bad.
Deer jerky's the best, man. I love deer jerky.
I do too. I love deer burger, but I make like deer chili.
Oh, deer chili! I've never had it, but it sounds good.
I love if you like chili and you like deer meat, then yeah. I love even my little girl. Well, yeah, Princess Emma. That's where the girls love deer chili and shit. So.
Okay, so that's where you got the name from, because I've always wondered that. I'm like, why would you name yourself Princess Emma? But hey, man, I remember when I first ever seen you on a hunter game. I thought you were a girl.
Yeah.
But then I read the description.
A lot of people do, so I've tried changing it, then I just left it, and then I was going to change, or I actually made up my own, and then I was like, well, if I do that, and then I'd have to re-spend all this money, buy all tents and another goose blinds, all this, and so because me and her used to play together.
Is this your girlfriend or wife?
No, me and her mom dated for a while.
Oh.
One of them things. So, and then my son, he's junior this year, but
Oh, I'm a freshman.
So that boy is insanely freaking smart, but
That's cool.
oh,
I'm more on the retarded side as far as school goes. I
hated school.
Oh, dude, I despise it. But
dropped out.
I dropped out for a year, I'll admit.
I hated it. But now I regret it because I wouldn't go to classes. I only barely did enough to pass. The only reason I didn't, because I just would have got my GED because I was in school. I wanted to go to work. I didn't want to go to freaking school.
Yeah, I agree.
But now I regret it. Big time regret it because, oh motherfucker. Because I mean, I don't even half the words. I have to ask I always had. Well, he's not here right now. He's with my mom right now, but he's stayed down there for a while. Might come back. Might come back Christmas. So he goes back and forth because she was might have to have back surgery. So
that sucks.
And she's like, so he went down there for the summer and then ended up staying. So she enrolled him for school, but he's honor roll student. That motherfucker. Oh, he's actually planning on going to college.
That's cool.
And being an actual program or make games, program games.
Oh! I know what you're talking about, like a game producer, person that makes games. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's actually going to go to school for.
That's cool.
And do after he gets out of school.
Once I graduate, I'm gonna get my freaking high school diploma, and I'm never going back. That's as far as I feel. I wouldn't mind to go to college, but then again, if this career right here, the YouTube career, goes good, hopefully it does.
Well, see, that's what I ain't looking to get rich.
Nah, me.
I mean, I'm on disability, but I just do this because, also to give me something to do because like right now there ain't no one here. I'm bored out of my mind. That and I'm gonna be playing the game anyways. It's kind of entertaining to play from time to time, but
yep, I will.
Well, because I really like it because people watch my videos and they give thumbs ups and that's just so cool. And actually, speaking of Tractor 10, he watched one of my videos when I first met him, and then he ended up, it was coincidence, and then he won that very first, the very first hunt, or subscriber hunt, but we went out and done a hunt, or duck hunting, I think it was, or no, goose hunting, I think, yeah. But anyways.
Tractor 10's in big trouble, by the way.
What'd he do?
He spent over $2,000 on his, grandma's credit card or something like that.
Oh, ouch.
And, he's in juvie. No joke.
That's why I hadn't talked to him in a while.
Yep, he's in there for, he got charged and everything. He didn't get charged, but he got in big trouble. So.
Yeah, that sucks. I've had that kind of shit happen, but family members take that got a zebra mussel. That was funny. I was like, what?
A zebra mussel? What the hell is that?
Just like an actual mussel.
Oh yeah.
River mussel.
Yeah.
But it's zebra.
Well,
It's two different types of Don't ask me, but how a zebra mussel bites the hook, don't ask. But now the only time you do catch them and reel is when you're cast out and reeling. Then you'll snag them, because there's actually when you're fishing around riverbed mussels. Because what the deal is, actually, like cats and that kind of fish love, feeding around those bed mussels, big, riverbed mussels, because they can and everything. So that's where they feed.
I'm a big bass fisherman. My personal best bass is 14 pounds.
Nice, that's a monster.
And it's actually
here,
at the time
if we can get 110, it's
at the time. It was state record, but
very, 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 very rarely.
It was state record, dude. I caught it at this pond, right? And they thought the next state record was gonna come out of it, right? And I didn't know. I was like, okay. We weighed everything 14 something. I forgot. And the state record was 12 pounds, dude. I beat it by 2 pounds, and I didn't even know when I let it go. I have pictures.
You actually did that, congrats, because I know how hard it is.
I caught him on a live frog, and I've never asked for help for cranking the bass, but when I felt this thing hit that thing and pull under into the lily pad, I was like, get your butt out there, because it wrapped itself around a lily pad, right? And I had my buddy with me, and he went out there, and the pond wasn't too deep. At the time it was during summer, and it was all spawned out was a thing. It was part of it was like kind of spawned, but dude, its stomach was still a football. A complete football. It was feeding on shad. It was feeding on everything.
Well, see, like blue cat. I know, you know what blue cat are.
Yeah.
Well, down there at Lake of the Ozarks where we snag for spoonbill. Well, we'll go out snag for spoonbill, and then we'll go. But we also have jug lines or trout lines out, and then also my boat was set up. I have a high-end boat that held the $3,000 fish finder. I mean, it's all set up high. But me and my dad would go out rod and reel fishing because we both love catfishing. That's your favorite thing to do.
Same.
Well, but I mean, blue catfishing. I mean, catfish species, but just using catfish in general.
I've only caught 2 catfish in my day.
So we caught this freaking blue cat, and it come up while we had it in the boat. And I just took the hook out, and I was rebaiting back up and just casting out, and I hadn't put it in the live well yet, and because I was trying to get, because we was catching the heck out of some decent, 20 or 15 to 20, 25 pound blue cat. Well, this one was like about a 36-pound blue cat. So I was just, before I threw it in the live well, I tried to hurry it, throw that back out, and I looked back down my brand new boat. It's a $35,000 boat. He puked up in that boat. Oh, he'd ate seagull. He'd actually went to the top of the surface of the water and ate a seagull. There was seagull and all kinds.
That's gross.
And remains. And then it stunk. Oh, motherfucker. I got it cleaned up, kind of, but motherfucker.
Here, I'll show you.
Couldn't have been so bad if the boat, was, broke in. I'd had it for a while, but.
Here's one of the bass. I'll show you one of the bass I've caught before.
My brand new one. Brand new boat and everything.
I'm going to end this game anyways. I ain't finding too much. I'm going to show you, I'm going to send you a picture on Discord. My personal best. One of my personal best bass. It was it wasn't one of my personal best, but it's a nice one. It's PB of the year so far. Because I caught my 14-pounder last year, but this one's still about.
That
6.
is a monster. Because my biggest personal best is basically 8.
That's really nice.
Because around here, it's insanely hard to get one over 12 or 10 pounds. It's basically 10s. But you want to know how I got mine? I've got one. I got a 9-pounder.
I'm seeing this
because I bow fish, hardcore bow fisherman.
Oh hell yeah!
We was actually fishing this lake, and we shooting carp. And I just shot a little carp, a couple pound little common carp. And we sat there, and I looked up, and this fish comes out or underneath the lilies. I just assumed because it looked like a carp, so I drilled that motherfucker. Well, it didn't take off and explode. It just kind of twitched there, and I'm like, what the hell? I looked at the buddy of mine it was his boat, but I looked at him like, what the hell is it? I said, I must have spined him or something, killed him or something, because that thing ain't twitching, ain't doing nothing. Well, I grabbed, reeled it up, flipped it in. It was a 9-pound bass. I was like, holy shit.
Dang.
Like that was, because you're not supposed to, game fish, you're not legally supposed to shoot. Well, I mean, you can shoot, but what you're supposed to do is flick it back. So I
sent you a picture of one of my personal best bass. That's about a 6-pounder.
So what we did was, I didn't get to,
That's about 4.
It was It probably died because I mean I had a big
Okay.
arrow out. We didn't keep it because you could easily tell there was no way you could tell a conservation agent that, that, oh, I caught it on a hook. No, because we were bow fishing. It had a arrow through it. So what we did, we weighed it really quick. It was right at 9 pounds. And then I threw it back in. So I was like, I didn't want to get in trouble anyway.
Well, anyways, the bass I sent you, I was sitting there, right? And we were catching these bullfrogs. I have a bait caster, like a $180 bait caster. It's a Lose Mach 2. It's a green. You probably heard of them. Stupid thing keeps up. And anyways, I had this frog we found. I hooked it through. I was like, oh, dude, I'm totally gonna catch him. I was joking around with my buddies, right? So I threw it out there, and I got a really big bird's nest. So I got it out, and I was like, okay. And I felt it like just kept on tapping. And I was like, okay, it's probably the frog trying to swim up, dude. So I start reeling this, dude. I felt that thing get tired. I was like, dude, I have a fish on here. And I was in a John boat at the time. You could probably see in the back of the picture I sent you. And I freaking set that hook, dude. And that bass just took me on a ride, dude. And it only took a couple seconds to reel in because I like to yank my bass in. But I have a video too, but that was one of the bass. I mean, it's probably about a 3, 4. It's right around 3.5.
Oh, Jerry, look at your picture. Hang on, give me a second. I just hearing getting a bite. Where you at? Hey, rod number 2.
There we go. Here's another one of my personal bests. Not a bad one. This one actually was this one was completely spawned out, and you can see the size of the pond I caught it in. And
what? Yeah, see.
This is a 2.
Kind of did that because my biggest flathead is 78 pounds, but what happened was when we caught it, I actually caught it years and years and years ago, and the record, the biggest, a Martin, really decent sterlet. That was good.
What do I do again?
That'll be worth
for GIMP,
money.
download GIMP 2.10.6 via BitTorrent or directory or direct. Yeah, directly.
And then
I guess this one. But anyways, yeah, I caught him on a live frog, and I was so amazed. I can here. I'll send you the video if I can.
Well, you want to hear? Or I actually did have an actual. Well, then when I caught this flathead, it was 78 pounds. It took forever to finally come in because that's when I finally upgraded to my heavy tackle, 100-pound test, Power Pro, and I mean big heavy equipment. But anyways, we finally I landed this 78. It was according to my scale, just spring scale, but it was 78 pounds. Well, we finally got a hold of the conservation because it was the middle of the night when we was fishing. We finally get a hold of the conservation that morning and told them I might have, broken the Missouri State
record,
biggest record for rod and reel for flathead. Well, they show up and they didn't know the conservation. Like, well, we don't know where to even go to take it so we can certify it because we got to be on a certified set of scales. So it took him 2 hours to finally find somebody where we could take it. Well, so then we finally get it down there. And so what ended up found another town. What I did, luckily this town was only 20 minutes down the river. So I kept the fish in the live well, and I drove the boat, and the conservation agent met me at the freaking boat ramp, and then we just loaded it in. And by then he'd lost a lot of water because got transported, and he ended up being 76.7, and I beat it or got it, missed it by .8 of an ounce.
Are you serious?
Ben, yeah, I ain't shitting you. I was so fucking mad. Because it was technically was, but if it would have been weighed right when it come out of the water, it would have been over. I would have broke it just, by a pound to half a pound. But yeah, because I didn't on that boat. I didn't have a live well, or so he was riding in the boat and he was drying out, and and then by the time it was just motherfucker, he'd lost so much freaking weight. He was just, if I now that's why. Ooh, a little bourbon. A little thing ain't worth much, but let's see. But
yeah, I steelhead fish here in Oregon too, and salmon fish. I love it. My personal salmon's 38 pounds.
Nice. I've never got to do salmon fishing.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, if you think catfish fishing or bass fishing is like, especially catfish, you think that's hard to crank in, dude, wait until you hook on to a salmon. I fought one salmon for 3 hours.
I've trout fished, but I've never got no salmon.
Yeah.
Like trout or brown trout and, rainbows. And that here in Missouri, because down southern Missouri,
it took me 3 hours realizing I'm sorry, not Branson, but like Bennett Springs. Mm-hmm.
But on actually where I'm from, my son's at, it's all crystal clear water. You have trout. That's where I used to grew up as a kid, and I've caught the heck out of like brown trout and rainbows. That's the only thing we had around on the trout wise.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, but. We didn't have anything else, because that would be I've seen people catch them on TV that look like it'd be a heck of a blast, big old fight.
I'm telling you, I fought the longest I ever fought one was 2 hours and 2 hours and probably about 15 minutes.
Nice.
That was at 30. That was at 30. I don't remember. It's like in the 30s. The quickest ever one was 45 minutes. And, dude, they are such a fight. Like, their head shakes and everything's like, you have to, because if they start swimming down river, you're screwed. Mm-hmm. You have to chase them up and down the banks.
Nice.
And it's just, by the time you reel one of them in, you don't want to fight another one, because your arms are so sore from just holding on. Dude, just sit there shaking. The rods just sit there shaking. It's like, ah! Yep, and then, my first ever steelhead, and this is like my grandpa passed away that morning, and this is my dad thinks a way of him saying he was here for me.
Well, sorry to hear that. But.
Yeah, that morning my grandpa passed away. They wanted me to get away from that. They'd want me to be around my dead grandpa. So they took me out on the river and we went steelhead fishing, and I caught my first ever steelhead. It weighed 8 pounds, which is not a bad steelhead at all.
No.
They get bigger. But anyways, my dad thinks that's a way of my grandpa saying he was here for me, So that was nice to hear.
Yeah, my dad passed away in 2000, but whenever that boat I bought in 2009, so.
Anyways,
I just bought that boat, and then he was actually we went out snagging, and he was the only one caught a spoonbill, and then after that, then I didn't kind of fish, so then I ended up trading for 2 years, because me and him would always go to the river and go fishing out on the river like that, so I kind of didn't really go for 2 years, and then after that, then I got rid of that boat. That was that one we caught before he passed away. Then I caught that big old flathead, but it didn't have the live well, so then I upgraded to a 22 or 24 foot as a Pro Cat, or 240 Pro Cat.
Nice.
With a 225 horse 4-stroke Yamaha. That's what I actually have. And I can't I can't go doing the hunting because of the disease I have. They're afraid
I'm sorry to hear about that. But anyways.
So yeah.
What sucked about
It sucks.
what sucked about my that month is this is all in March, by the way. My birthday is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And on the 13th, my dog passed away. Legit my best friend. Me and my dad. Listen to this. Me and my dad would go on rides on his old 500, and he'd chase him down the road for me to get off that bike. It was sometimes bad, but at the same time it was kind of funny. But I lost him on the 13th, and then I lost my grandpa on the 28th. It was the worst month of my life because
Yeah,
I
sorry to hear that.
I have two best friends, but it's all good. You gotta deal with that. It's just life. You know?
I'm getting a bite, but I just thought of something. I'm gonna show you something.
Yeah. If you want to, I could call you and you could screen share or something if you want to.
Well, I'm gonna show you. A buddy of mine I train. He's a gunsmith in St. Louis, but his name
You want me to go to your live stream and watch it?
Warden. But no, I'm gonna show you a video on his channel. Well, they actually started making cat videos, but that boat that they're in is the same. I got the same one. That's the reason because they're sponsored by Sea Art. So they get one of those 24-foot Pro Cats every year, but they already, have one themselves. But they also have a sponsored one, with all the logos and their stuff. Well, they started making videos. This is what this teaser I'll show you here in a minute after I land this fish and recast, and then and then watch that teaser. But yeah, but what happened was one of the younger kids, because there was a group of 4 or 5 of them that actually sterlet. A really nice sterlet. I was actually impressed. So that was actually really nice sterlet.
Yep.
Because, on sterlet they go up to 10K, and trophies like 8K. That one was almost 4K sterlet. And sterlet